westerly winds are bringing in the dry air now, and that'll persist through the afternoon hours. Lots of sunshine up to 78. But tonight, clear, comfortably cool, 60 in Midtown, but low to mid-50s in many of the cooler suburbs. Just a gorgeous finish to the work week tomorrow with sunshine and low humidity, upper 70s. We'll get to about 80 or so on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. The humidity starts to build, the warmth starts to build on Sunday, mostly sunny up to 86. And we've got a shot at 90 on Labor Day. Right now, mostly sunny, 72 at Central Park, humidity just 42%. Winds are out of the north-northeast, 16 gusting to 25. We're getting the current temperature 72, rated up to 78 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg on New York's weather station, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Winds News Time, 12:13.
When you come to Catholic Health Cancer Institute, you'll get to know you. Every detail, from the genetic makeup of your cancer, to your other health conditions, to your emotional and physical needs. Because each detail gives us another opportunity to personalize your care and improve your outcome. And all of them can add up to a life-changing difference. At Catholic Health, we know you. We know cancer. We know your cancer.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. I'm going to show you my steps for making the perfect radio ad. This one's about innovation refunds and the ERC. First step, be relatable. I like pizza and puppies. 2, cold hard info. The ERC is a tax credit for eligible businesses that kept employees on payroll in 2020 and 2021. So if you qualify, Innovation Refunds Network of Independent Tax Attorneys could help you claim it. 3, go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS. Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is paid sponsor.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code JOY at checkout. That's harrys.com, code JOY. Enjoy.
Winds News Time, 12:15. The University of Nebraska set an all-time attendance record last night for a women's sporting event. More than 92,000 fans packed into Memorial Stadium, where the football team normally plays, to watch the women's volleyball match between the Lincoln and Omaha campuses. John Cook, the head coach of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, said they wanted to take a shot at the record, so they had a day-long celebration and decided to play the game in Memorial Stadium. He said seeing the huge turnout was a very emotional experience.
Still the things I had to like 5 minutes to hold it together.
The previous world record for attendance at a women's sporting event was set during a UEFA Women's Champions League soccer semifinal in 2022. Just over 91,000 people attended that event. Well, drivers who get pulled over often say the reason was a lot of bull. But in this case, the driver would be right.
A man in Nebraska was pulled over for driving down Highway 275 with a big black and white bull sitting in the passenger seat. Photos show the Watusi named Howdy Doody hanging out the side window. Holding him in, a metal barred guardrail from a cattle enclosure with a sign below that read, Nebraska's Big Rodeo Parade. Best car entry. Police in Norfolk issued a warning and ordered Lee Meyer of Neely drive himself and his bull back home.
Correspondent Deborah Rodriguez reporting there. Well, it's both a birthday bash and a going-away party for a pair of pandas at the Berlin Zoo. Kit and Paul are turning 4 this week, and to celebrate, the zoo has made them a cake with apples, carrots, beetroot, and a side serving of snow. But the pandas technically belong to China, and typically it was been sent back when they were 2 or 3 years old. Their return was delayed because of the pandemic, and zoo officials say it's possible their stay is extended again, but it's more likely Kit and Paul will be traveling back to China soon. A major new medical study says there are possible connections between Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease.
There's a potential
especially important research finding in the fight against two related diseases genetically found between them.
So we found unique protective factor against Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease.
Stanford University professor Emmanuel Mignot.
Activity that shows that the immune system is not only important to protect against infection, but also can be very important to protect ourselves against damaging things that happen in our brain.
Not Alzheimer's, Parkinson's linked research involved huge numbers of patients with both great illnesses.
That's correspondent Tom Foti. The findings have been published online in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. It's always a good idea to keep an eye out for phishing attempts, but you might want to be extra cautious tomorrow. Analysts at the cybersecurity firm Lookout say folks working remotely tomorrow, the day before the start of the long Labor Day weekend, provide a world of opportunity for those looking to steal information like passwords and credit card numbers. In fact, the firm's executive vice president of products and strategy, Aaron Cockerell, says the last Friday, before the unofficial end of summer, is typically the riskiest day of the year for phishing scams.
Because they're working from home and because they're potentially using an unmanaged device, the bad actors see an increase in success for their phishing attacks.
Cockerell says all companies should have firewall and antivirus systems, especially on mobile devices, and when it comes to cybersecurity, should think about implementing a policy of zero trust. Well, the 10-10-Win pickleball tournament is coming at Sportside Randall's Island. For more info and to register, go to 1010wins.com/pickleball.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. Give it about 22 minutes. We'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 69 degrees and sunny in Manhattan. It's 12:20. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. Mayor Adams holding a rally this morning to call again for the federal government to expedite work authorizations for asylum seekers. An 18-year-old was in the hospital after shooting last night in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. The daughter of the woman who survived a shark attack earlier this month off Rockaway Beach is telling the story of her first terrifying encounter. It's not just Florida, but Georgia and parts of South Carolina that are cleaning up today after the damage caused by Hurricane Idalia. And Taylor Swift's Eras tour might be over here in the U.S., but we'll still have the chance to see it soon on the big screen. We'll bring you the details. 10 Winds AccuWeather, mostly sunny and pleasant this afternoon. Low humidity by 78 degrees tonight. Clear, comfortable with 60 in the city, and it's going to be pretty nice for the weekend, too. Winds news time, 12:21. Let's get traffic and transit on the line. Over to the weather.
Johnson on the New York State Freeway by exit 10 just before the Mayor of Cornwall Bridge. You got about a 2-hour delay. Delays go all the way back to Elmont Road. And traffic is sponsored by seafood.nj.gov. Here's your team at the Business Center Tunnel. Inbound doors and up to 90 minutes to the level 60 to the lower level. Outbound of 30 to 40 minutes delay. Inbound Lincoln is 35. Outbound getting real busy now. We have police department activity blocking one lane. So at least about a 20 to 25 minute delay. Inbound Holland also 25 minutes. Delays heading into the Bronx from all the approaches to both the Whitestone and the Throgsneck bridges. In Manhattan, your fire department activity closing Fifth Avenue down from 48th to 46th Street. Southbound FDR Drive at 73rd Street. An accident and in Queens eastbound LIE at the Park Island. You have a stall. And now this message. When you're talking about seafood, the word that matters most is fresh. When you're looking for fresh seafood, the place that matters most is the Jersey Shore. You go to a restaurant in Jersey, you're getting the freshest seafood you'll get anywhere. You'll know it from the first bite. Find your next delicious meal at seafood.nj.gov. I'm Sue Allard, next report at 12:31. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Mayor Adams rallied in Lower Manhattan today, demanding more action from the feds to help asylum seekers.
Amidst chants and cheers, Mayor Adams, his voice rising, calling out federal officials to step up and address the Biden crisis.
Don't tell us how we could have done it better. Don't sit in the bleachers and be a secret spectator on this full content.
Referring to a letter written by the Secretary of Homeland Security critical of New York Suffolk's organization and planning. The rally calls for an expedited process for work authorization. Andrew Ridgey of the Hospitality Alliance says restaurants and bars are looking for people.
More than 10,000 jobs in New York City restaurants posted online right now.
Julia Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
A teenager is in the hospital after a shooting in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Officials say the 18-year-old was on Bedford Avenue last night when someone fired a shot, hitting him in the leg. Fortunately, he survived and was rushed to Bellevue, where he's listed in stable condition. No arrests have been made, but word is several people were spotted leaving the scene in the aftermath of the shooting on bicycles. Well, it's not officially Labor Day until Monday, but the holiday weekend getaway has already gotten started. Our Glenn Schuck caught up with some drivers at the very busy Vince Lombardi rest stop on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Parking lot's pretty jammed here at the Vince. People getting this 4-day weekend, it looks like. But for Eric from Philadelphia, it's all work for his daughters.
Driving to Boston, moving one daughter later today, another daughter later today.
Lip sync?
They're both grad students.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're enjoying themselves. So your weekend is going to be basically driving, shuttling, U-Haul.
So you're a good dad.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope they appreciate it.
I have to ask people about New Jersey. Being here, does it impact you? Some people have all these things to say about New Jersey, which is...
I like New Jersey.
Hey, somebody likes New Jersey.
I like Philadelphia area better, but Jersey's okay.
That's an argument for another time. One Shuck 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, checking out the Labor Day travel here on the Turnpike.
Earlier this month, Tatiana Pokliniuk was attacked by a shark in the waters off Rockaway Beach. It was the worst shark attack in New York City since the 1950s. Now her daughter, Dasha, is telling her mother's story. On Good Morning America today, Dasha said that mom, Tatiana, was in the waters toward the end of the day on August 7th, like she often was. But this time, she felt something bump into her hard and realized it was a shark.
She saw all of its teeth. She described how green and dirty they were. And then the shark attacked, and she remembers a cloud of blood in the water.
Dasha says her mother remembers losing energy and struggling to make it to shore, but she says a police officer was quick to the scene and applied a makeshift tourniquet, which Tatiana credits with saving her life. That New York State city tax is about the highest. The $1 hike changes the tax from $4.35 to $5.35, up to decrease about %. Wins News Time, 12:26. Time for Bloomberg Money Watch now on 1010 Wins. And here's Andrew O'Day.
The first reading of inflation shows the back monthly in 3 years, coupled with that a recession could potentially be avoided. Right now, though, indexes on Wall Street are mixed. The Dow has been higher all day until just a moment ago. Right now, losing 14. Nasdaq up 25, S&P 500 gaining 3. Commerce Department says today its personal consumption expenditures price index rose just 0.2%, and consumer spending jumped 0.6%, both in July. The spending increase was the strongest of the year. Separate reading out today shows new jobless claim filings fell to a 4-week low of 228,000 last week. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. Andrew O'Day for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Now this message, Plaza Jewish Community Chapel, the only community funeral chapel in New York City.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs. How do your clients know that? Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first. So wait, you do it because you have to? No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them. Get to know them how? We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle, so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement. Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right? No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different from money management. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Honey, is our car
still under warranty?
Well, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Car care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free transportation and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-270-8132. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-270-8132.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-270-8132. Ask about senior and military discounts. Ox covers commercial car owners too. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-270-8132.
Or a global one. You're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
72 degrees and sunny in Manhattan. Good afternoon. I'm Linda Lopez. Winds News Time, 12:30.
Good afternoon, I'm Kevin Rincon. Florida and parts of Georgia cleaning up today after Hurricane Idalia swept through. The strong winds ripped down power lines. The storm surge left homes and cars underwater along the coastline. There were even reports of tornadoes.
The kind of damage done by Idalia depends entirely upon where you live. Flooding is the issue here in Tampa. The wind destroyed buildings in Perry near the point of landfall. In Georgetown County, South Carolina,
It sounded like a train noise.
Demonstrator Williams knew it wasn't the roar of the hurricane.
I knew it was like a tornado. It had to be a tornado to uproot like the trees and all of that.
One twister flipped a car in Goose Creek, South Carolina, causing minor injuries. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Tampa.
Right now, the storm is blamed for at least 3 deaths, 2 in Florida, 1 in Georgia. Right now, Idalia, a tropical storm that's dumping lots of rain along the Carolinas. By the end of the day, Idalia should head out to sea, though it won't die down just yet. It's expected to stay a tropical storm well into next week. Winds News Time, 12:31. Let's check with traffic and transit on the ones. Good afternoon, Greg Rice.
Good afternoon, Kevin. We are looking at major trouble on the 1010 Winchantine eastbound Long Island Expressway. A couple of right lanes out, right across line with a big wreck, and this is taking what was a bad ride, making it worse. Eastbound L line, that's from Mary's Ave across. You get the worst this is. Westbound LIE still loaded out of Nassau from New High Park Road over to the Cross Island Parkway. Leaving Queens, good luck. Bronxtown, Whitestone, and Prospect. Every approach is awful in the Grand Central. That's a bit of a headache, too, getting into the Bronxtown RFK Bridge. Southbound FDR at East 71st Street, they're getting rid of an accident at this hour, and you got an absolute mess. You've also got 5th Avenue right now. That is shut down near East 48th Street because of some debris in the roadway. Here's what you need to know about bridges and tunnels. Still so much. Citybound Georgia, it's an hour on the upper, and it's close to that on the inbound lower. West Side and South at Deegan, those are your winners out. Lincoln's an extra 20 in, no more than 10 out. Holland, an extra few on the outbound ride, outbound covered roadway, inbound Skyway, both are awful. Newark Bay better either way. If you're in a jam, you probably are. Call the Barnes Firm traffic tip line at 844-JAM-1010. That's 844-JAM-1010. Traffic sponsored by the Barnes Firm. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible.
The 1010 winds at the weather forecast. Meteorologist Joe Lundberg, a nice breeze. Not too bad out there today.
It really is very nice, Kevin. That gusty wind out of the north, courtesy of high pressure building in from the western Great Lakes, and it's imparting this
dry air mass, and a very comfortable air mass at that for the tri-state. With sunshine, we're headed to 78, and tonight we'll get clear and cool. The high builds closer to the region, 60 in Midtown, 50s in the suburbs. And high will be pretty much overhead tomorrow with sunshine. We get to 78, and it stays around through the Labor Day weekend. Mostly sunny skies expected Saturday with a high near 80. We'll get to 86 with sunshine Sunday. Looking at Labor Day, mostly sunny skies continue. The heat does build, though, with temperatures approaching 90. Mostly sunny at 72 in Central Park, humidity 42%, winds out of the north-northeast 16, gusting to 25 miles per hour. You're getting our current temperature 72, we're going up to 78 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Joe Lumber, New York's weather station 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Winds news time 12:34. The bodies of 3 U.S. Marines have been recovered in a remote part of Australia.
The Marines were killed when their Osprey aircraft crashed during a training exercise on Melville Island. The recovery operations were difficult. Their bodies have now been returned to Darwin. 3 other Marines remain hospitalized, 1 in critical condition. Marines are regularly based in Darwin as part of a U.S. military pivot to Asia.
That's correspondent Cammie McCormick. There were 23 Marines in all on board that Osprey when it went down in a tropical forest. A teenager shot in the head earlier this year after going to the wrong house by accident, in court right now, facing the man who pulled the trigger. That preliminary hearing underway at a Kansas City courtroom that comes after the judge ordered evidence in the case be partially sealed. 17-year-old Ralph Yarl suffered a traumatic brain injury as a result. Police say he was shot twice in April, went to the home of Andrew Lester by accident, was there to pick up his twin siblings, was shot shortly after ringing the doorbell. Lester, who's 84, is facing several charges, including felony assault. He's been out on bond ever since the shooting. As we head into Labor Day weekend, we have writers and actors on strike, flight attendants at American. At LaGuardia yesterday threatened to walk off the job in their contract dispute. Workers in so many sectors are considering similar moves. It's not out of the norm here. In Japan, it certainly is. Workers at a major department store in Tokyo walked off today after talks with management broke down over a planned sale of their company. The one-day strike by employees of SUG and Seibu, the third largest department store in Japan, the first major strike in that country in 61 years. There's one car company giving a new purpose to its old electric car batteries.
Like all vehicles, electric vehicles have a lifespan. But as some of the first generation of EVs reach the end of their useful life, a new potential problem is emerging: what to do with the batteries under the hood. Nissan is developing a program to give them a new life as portable power sources that could deliver emergency power in electric outages or disasters. The car maker says while car batteries are no longer useful in vehicles after charge capacity drops below 80%, they can still be useful for many other purposes. Dave, ABC News.
News time 12:36. 10 Wins Entertainment News coming up.
The New York Times calls BritBox the best of British telly. Stream brilliant series you can only find on BritBox. Unlock acclaimed favourites like Vera and Stonehouse, plus the upcoming original drama Archie, the story of Cary Grant. Start a free trial at BritBox.com.
There's a reason why customers keep choosing Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Stop by to see their new redesigned showroom during the Mercedes-Benz of Edison summer event and make your summer unforgettable in a brand new or pre-Benz.
Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Required price.
Guys, did you know there's a generic just the same? %.com/joy. You'll get a free consultation, free shipping if subscribed. Process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to forhim.com. That's forhins.com/JOY.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to the amount you qualify. Consolidate
securitization loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-266-7171. 800-266-7171. That's 800-266-7171.
Wins News Time, 12:38, time for 1010 Wins Entertainment News.
This has been the most extraordinary experience of my entire life.
If you couldn't catch that experience in person to watch Taylor Swift perform during her Eras tour, you can get a small taste of what it was like. You can catch the movie. AMC Theaters will screen the concert film starting October 13th. It'll run at least 4 times a day from Thursday through Sundays. Adult tickets will cost $19.89 and kids $13.13. Bob Barker will be honored on prime time tonight. CBS will air a special at 8 called The Price is Right, a tribute to Bob Barker, who started hosting in 1972.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
He stepped down in 2007, handing over the reins to Drew Carey, who will host tonight's special. Bob Barker died in his sleep at the age of 99. Wins News Time, 12:39. Top stories coming up.
Which car company makes the best car? Well, it depends on what you like. Okay, but which window company makes the best window? I bet you said Andersen. It's Susan Richard. Renewal by Andersen is the replacement window division of Andersen, and they're having a massive flash sale this month. Save $325 on every window. Save $879 on every patio door and entry door. Plus, get an extra $200 off your project. And get a free upgrade to their Smart Sun Glass. And get this, you'll pay nothing for a year. Don't miss out on these savings. For an appointment during Renewal by Andersen's flash sale, call before August 31st. 1-800-705-7100. 1-800-705-7100. That's 1-800-705-7100.
Offer not available in all areas. Restrictions and conditions apply. Call for license information. Sponsored by Renewal by Andersen.
1010 Wins is hosting its own pickleball event at Sport Time Randall's Island. Indoors, parking is free. You can win $1,010. For all the info and to register, head to 1010wins.com/pickleball.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 69 degrees, sunshine, 1240. I'm Kevin Rincon. Here's what's happening. Let them work. The message out of Foley Square. Mayor Adams part of a rally to get the White House to do more to help migrants find jobs. Down the road at City Hall, dueling rallies after the mayor called on the city council to create a new plan to try and close down Rikers. A New Jersey family is suing after a funeral home lost their loved one's ashes. Not guilty, the plea presidential case on efforts to overturn the election results in that state. And you've probably heard of beer goggles. A new study says that's not a real thing, but liquid courage certainly is. Right now, a lot of sunshine, stays that way, pleasant, a high of 78 with low humidity. Wins News Time, 1241. Traffic and transit on the ones with Greg Rice.
We go right back to Queens. Down Long Island Expressway, got a massive crash right at the cross in one of the right lanes out. So instead of 4 lanes on the eastbound LI at the Cross Island, and what a mess from Maurice Avenue the whole way there. The Grand Central is not going to be perfect. Thing is, but if you're not in a truck, that's Queens over to Brooklyn and to the Belt, you've got problems either way. Westbound Belt before the Verrazano, that's left lane work, and that makes a mess from Ocean Parkway. Eastbound Belt with brake lights from Flatbush Avenue over to Cross Bay Boulevard, where they've got the right lane knocked out of service. We are still looking into why, but in Brooklyn, the westbound BQE at an absolute standstill coming down to the Williamsburg Bridge. The mess out of Queens. Eastbound BQE usual crawl to the Brooklyn Bridge, and again up to the Kosciuszko Bridge, where you've got construction work. And to know about the bridges and tunnels. It's about an hour on either level of the inbound George, west side and southbound Deegan, best of it out. Lincoln 20 in, southbound no more 10 out. Outbound Skyway is a mess now across the Hackensack River with a crash. Inbound Skyway is an extra 20. Newark Bay, better. 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Winds News 3. New York has been applying the pressure trying to get the White House when it comes to the migrant crisis here at home. Governor Hochul was down in Washington yesterday. Today, Mayor Adams part of a rally in Philly Square, where Julia Papa was there.
No hate, no fear.
Williams leading the chant at a rally for faster work authorization for migrants. The public officials need to see the bigger picture.
It's not enough to send federal staff to New York City. We need to work to establish nationwide infrastructure, nationwide reform.
This isn't just New York City's problem.
The way goes New York, goes America. And in New York City, we're not going to get it right in America.
He says the White House has to come to terms with this and deal with a national crisis. 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Well, Mayor Adams wants a plan B when it comes to closing. To close it by 2027 as approved by the city council might not happen, says the plan jails in its place is flawed. Want solution. That officials and activists that brought out elected officials and activists to the steps of City Hall. Among them, Darren Mack. He's with the group Freedom Agenda.
Like they always say, a broken clock is correct twice a day. He has to follow the law just like everyone else. But he's undermining the plan by divesting from those critical services and programs vulnerable community and marginalized people need.
And those supporting the closure say the city needs to ramp up construction of the borough-based jails and put more funding towards reducing incarcerations to begin with. The mayor standing its ground, arguing the new jails would not be able to house the thousands currently incarcerated at Rikers. A Manhattan man was punched and kicked and robbed of his cash and cell phone. Cops say it happened after some sort of argument last month in Chelsea along 10th Avenue. They need help tracking down the two men accused of assault and theft. They put out surveillance photos of those suspects. They're up on our website, 1010winds.com. Anyone from a cliffside were of 62-year-old Walter Garcia. His wife and daughter, in a lawsuit filed this week in Bergen County, say the service was held in January of last year. They were told to come back within 3 days for the ashes. They didn't hear from anyone for almost a week. That's when they went in person and found out the ashes were gone. The car they were stolen from was eventually found, but the lawsuit claims the ashes were missing. The Garcia family is suing for emotional distress, breach of contract, breach of duty. Their lawyer believes the car was stolen by teenagers who dumped the ashes out the window, not knowing what they had. No comment yet from the funeral home or its owner. One person is dead, 2 others injured after they were hit by a car on Long Island. Our Sophia Hall with more on the scene.
The 3 people were out doing their morning workout here on Harnd Road near Donacourt in Comac when the 22-year-old was hit by a minivan. She was medevac to the hospital where sadly she was pronounced dead. The 2 males she was with suffered non-life-threatening injuries. They are 14 and 20 years old. Numerous police officers and vehicles responded to the scene, which is blocked off with yellow police tape. I'm told the driver stayed at the scene. Harnd Road, one of the ways here in the area. Sophia Hall, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in Comac, Long Island.
Winds News Time, 12:47. Former President Trump pled not guilty today in the case accusing him of trying to overturn the 20 results in Georgia.
A single 2-page filing is the former president waiving his right to appear at next Wednesday's arraignment and entering a not guilty plea to charges that he led a criminal conspiracy bent on keeping him in office. It remains unclear when Donald Trump will face trial in Georgia. Several of his co-defendants have asked that the case be heard starting in October. It's a move Trump opposes. And a federal Trump's former chief of staff.
That's correspondent Stephen Portnoy. This decision might save him a trip to Georgia. He's got multiple other cases, though, to focus on. Trump defended himself to New York State Attorney Tish James back in April. That testimony made public by his lawyers yesterday.
James is suing him, claiming evidence shows he fraudulently inflated his own net worth by more than $2 billion. The case will be heard in court in September. The judge could resolve part or all of that lawsuit before it goes to trial in October. Wins News Time, 12:48. There is anger out of North Korea. The test fired another missile aimed at sending a message to us.
Pyongyang says its launches were a simulation of scorched South Korea. The drill was on South Korean territory. Its protests over U.S.-South Korean military drills. The Kremlin, meanwhile, said today that Russia intends to develop ties. White House belief that Vladimir exchanged letters with Kim Jong-un.
Correspondent Kim Corman. The Republican Senate leader Mitch McConnell Korea believes everything's okay after he suffered another health scare back in his home state of Kentucky. He froze after a reporter asked him whether he would be running for re-election. For about 10 seconds or so, he stayed silent until his staff came in and helped usher him away. It is the second time that's happened in as many months in public. The 81-year-old has served 16 years as the GOP leader, the longest any Senate leader has ever served. He did appear at a fundraiser last night for Congressman Jim Banks, who's running for Senate in Indiana. Those in attendance say he was engaged and act normal. There are over 300,000 Kia cars being recalled over safety regulations or safety issues. A person could become trapped inside the trunk.
The emergency release lever inside these trunks may stop working due to possible cracks in the assembly. This impacts certain Kia Rios and Optimus from 2016 through 2018. There have been injuries reported, but federal rules require that emergency release to prevent people from becoming trapped inside a trunk.
That's correspondent Jeff Gilbert. Owners will be notified in October if their car is part of the recall. That latch will be replaced by dealerships. Wins News Time, 12:50. Beer goggles. You may have heard of them. Apparently, they're not a real thing. There's a new study that found what is likely to happen when you've had one too many is some added bravery.
Probably born in the murky haze of some 1980s fraternity party, the term beer goggles refers to the idea that alcohol makes other people appear better looking. Well, scientists at Stanford University studied 36 intoxicated male undergraduates under laboratory conditions. They found the alcohol didn't affect how the guys rated the attractiveness of men and women they were shown images of, but it did make them more likely to express a willingness to actually meet the most attractive ones. In other words, liquid courage, not beer goggles, is what's going on at the frat party.
Correspondent Vicki Barker. Wins News Time, 12:51. A check of traffic and transit on the ones with Greg Wright.
So we go back to the east side of town on the FDR Drive coming down towards East 71st Street. We are still dealing with this crash. You've got at least one lane knocked out of service and a bit of a mess trying to get you through that area. At this point, you're all clogged up from at least the RFK Bridge. Now, here's what you need to know about the bridge and tunnel. A whole lot on this Labor Day weekend Thursday. The inbound George is already a mess. We're looking at 45 to level, 30 to 45 on the inbound lower. Outbound lower, you got to break down to the right lane. So the outbound upper level, the only thing unscathed right now at the George, and getting to the outbound upper for the northbound west side and southbound Deegan, friendliest ways in route. Link 5 on the inbound ride. Outbound Lincoln Tunnel, no more than 10. Even the outbound Holland, less than 10. But the outbound Skyway slammed to the Hackensack River with a crash. The inbound side of the Skyway is an extra 15 to 20. Newark Bay, better either way. And the eastbound LI, awful through Queens to the Cross Island, where a crash leaves you single file. Traffic is sponsored by Optimum Business. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wings on 92.3 FM.
Optimum Business gives you fast, secure internet with speeds up to 8 and built-in cybersecurity so you can everything you do. Visit optimum.com/business today.
The 1010 Winds AccuWeather forecast. Meteorologist Joe Lundberg, not bad today or for the next couple of days.
Really, we're going to have a nice string of great weather across the tri-state through the holiday weekend. Lots of sunshine this afternoon. A gusty breeze out of the north and northeast. Low humidity. Our high temperature getting up to 78 in Midtown. And then tonight will be clear and cool. 60 in Midtown, 50s in the suburbs. Another beautiful day tomorrow with low humidity and abundant sunshine, the high 78. We keep it rolling Saturday, mostly sunny, about 80 or so. We'll get to about 86 on Sunday. The humidity starts to become a little bit more noticeable. And as we look at Labor Day, mostly sunny. It'll become hot and more humid with a high near 90. That heat could linger through the middle of next week. Mostly sunny, 72 in Central Park, humidity 42%, the wind out of the north-northeast, 16, gusting at 25 miles per hour. We're hitting the current temperature 72. We're headed to 78 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, New York's weather station, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Winds news time, 12:53. We'll check Bloomberg Money Watch coming up.
New York City's first and only light plan community, River's Edge, will soon be built on a 32-acre campus along the Hudson River, just minutes away from Grand Central and Riverdale. River's Edge, a community for adults ages 62 and up, combines a cosmopolitan lifestyle with the security of knowing that if your health changes, your needs can be met seamlessly right where you live. You have a life plan with easy access to uninterrupted on-site care at no additional cost, no matter how your needs change. River's Edge, your plan for wonderful. Call 844-55-RIVER. That's 844-55-RIVER, or visit riversedge.org.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grand soulmates. Now let's use them to save wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contract. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankism of Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You're out of breath. Your constant dry cough just won't go away. It might be asthma. It might be COPD. But it could be interstitial lung disease. ILD won't wait, and neither should you. So ask your doctor. Find a pulmonologist. The sooner you know, the sooner you and your family can face ILD together. With ILD, knowledge is power. And your strongest advocate is you. Go to lungsandyou.com/learn more.
Well, 69 degrees with a lot of sunshine right now in the city, going up to a high of 78. Breezy, a nice afternoon ahead with low humidity. Winds news time, 12:56. Time for Bloomberg Money Watch with Andrew O'Day.
The U.S. Energy Department is making up to $12 billion available for auto companies to retrofit their factories and make electric vehicles, hybrids, and fuel cell vehicles. It's designed to support projects in especially long-standing automaking communities to help retain workers and also help meet the Biden administration's goal of having electric vehicles represent at least half of all new car sales in the U.S. by 2030. This announcement comes amid tense negotiations between the United Auto Workers Union and the big 3 auto companies over wages, benefits for workers, and making electric vehicle batteries especially. Wall Street's indexes were higher. Now 2 of 3 are not. Dow losing 65, NASDAQ up 10. S&P 500 right now down 3, about the same number of stocks moving higher and lower. Labor Day is usually a pretty big weekend for spending money on things like grilling, maybe hitting the beach one last time, and other outdoor activities. But this time we may spend a little less. A Wallet Hub survey finds 55% of respondents saying they plan to spend less money this Labor Day weekend this year than last. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Thousands of happy green card holders and new American citizens can't be wrong. If you or your loved ones are undocumented, you need to talk to New York's most trusted immigration lawyers at Spectre Law Group. If you can't get a green card, they'll tell you. If you still need to wait, they will tell you.
you, you will know what to do. Lawyers at Spectre Law Group understand that immigration is your life. Call now, 646-543-0745, or visit SpectreLawGroup.com. That's SPEKTOR lawgroup.com. Having an experienced immigration lawyer will save you time and money. The lawyers at Spectre Law Group have helped thousands of people get permanent status in America, and they can help you. Call 646-543-0745 today. Spectre Law Group now offers consultations over the phone or Zoom. Spectre Law Group, your immigration lawyers. Call now. 646-543-0745. That's 646-543-0745.
Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Compassion is a very important word, especially in today's world. The need for a very special kind of compassion becomes especially poignant within the tenets of the Jewish tradition and Jewish funeral service. Riverside Memorial Chapel, the largest source of Jewish funeral professionals in the New York area, has set the standard for that very special kind of compassion and trust since 1897. For generations, leaders from Charles Rosenthal to Charles Solomon have practiced their beliefs that Jewish funeral service is not merely a business, but a solemn trust to the families they serve. Compassion is the most important word, and the understanding of the true meaning of the word compassion as it relates to individual needs is what has made Riverside Memorial Chapel the source of support for the Jewish people since 1897. Call 212-362-6600 or visit riversidememorialchapel.com.
WINS FM in HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins than the radio station in service. They're Justin Craig. Home.
All the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good afternoon. 74 degrees and sunny in Manhattan at 1 o'clock. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. Mayor Adams rallies with city leaders today, calling on the federal government to expedite work authorizations for asylum seekers in the city. The Labor Day getaway is already underway. We'll take you out to the New Jersey Turnpike coming up. Jones Beach has been closed to swimming all day because of dangerous rip currents from Hurricane Franklin. Adam Driver calling out the big streamers today, like Amazon and Netflix, over the Hollywood strikes. And it was another huge crowd for the best show at the Minnesota State Fair yesterday. We'll take you to the rooster crowing contest. And then winds AccuWeather. Sunny, breezy, pleasant this afternoon. Low humidity, high 78 degrees. But there is that risk of rip currents, as we were just saying, at the area beaches. Winds news time.
Line with the right lane out in a mess for more reset. Line on the Cross Island still. About 45 on the lower, the west side, that's the best ride. That gets you into town. Inbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel, getting word of a crash on the eastbound 495 viaduct right at the top of the helix. You got left lanes out, and a 30-minute ride. Outbound Lincoln's all right. Holland, extra 10 minutes in. Outbound Holland's okay. Outbound Skyway with a crash, you want the Newark Bay instead. Traffic is sponsored by Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.
For the federal government to expedite work authorizations for asylum seekers.
What do we want?
The rallying cry as Mayor Adams demands action from federal officials.
We need the national government to stand up. This is not a New York City issue. This is a national issue.
He says the migrant flow cannot be endless. Those here need to be able to work. Andrew Ridgey of the Hospitality Alliance says restaurants, bars, and nightclubs are looking for employees.
You've seen it, your favorite restaurant. Maybe it's opening a little bit later, closing a little bit earlier. The menu has fewer items. A lot of that is being dictated because they don't have enough people to work.
He says there are 10,000 jobs available in the industry in New York City. Julia Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
A shooting in Williamsburg, Brooklyn has left an 18-year-old in the hospital. Officials say the teenager was on Bedford Avenue last night when someone fired a shot, hitting him in the leg. Fortunately, he survived and was rushed to Bellevue, where he's listed in stable condition. No arrests have been made, but word is several people were spotted leaving the scene in the aftermath of the shooting on bicycles. Well, the Labor Day getaway is off to an early start this year, especially on the New Jersey Turnpike. Our Glenn Shuck caught up with some drivers at the very busy Vince Lombardi rest stop.
So checking out license plates here from Maryland, Vermont, Pennsylvania, Florida, all taking a break here at the Vince. And then there's people taking local weekend trips. In from Manalapan, they're headed to the American Dream Mall, some stops in New England, and starting today, we're headed to Legoland. Legoland. Have you ever been there before? Nope, first time. No. So what are you anticipating, like, doing this weekend? I'm hoping the kids don't drop us crazy. That's what we're anticipating, that they will, and we're hoping they don't. So let's hear from his 12-year-old daughter, Lila. How about going back to school? You excited? Or?
I hate work.
Hate schoolwork?
Yeah.
You're not the only one, don't worry. The dad tells me this summer's kind of just beginning. Lila's not so much. Glenn Shuck, 1010 Wins, on 92.3 FM here in the Turnpike in Richfield.
Dasha Potomyuk is telling the story of her mother, Tatiana, the woman who was the victim of the worst shark attack in New York City since the 1950s, a few weeks ago in the waters off Rockaway Beach. On Good Morning America today, Dasha said Tatiana was in the water toward the end of the day on August 7th, like she often was. But this time, she felt something bump into her hard, realized it was a shark, and the next thing she knew, the water was red with blood. When the attack was over, Dasha says her mom, Tatiana, remembers losing energy and struggling to make it to shore, but she says her mother did indeed make it.
She's a fighter. And she's fought for everything in her lives on her own.
She says a police officer was quick to the scene and applied a makeshift tourniquet, which her mother credits with saving her life. On Long Island today, flood problems closed Jones Beach for most of the morning.
There was a chill in the air here on the boardwalk at Jones Beach, and when you look out, you see more water than sand. The beach is flooded here. Red flags are up. Marie was one of only a handful of people on the boardwalk this morning.
It looks like they've tried to build a barrier there, but further down where I started, there wasn't anything. Water was up to the boardwalk.
Up to the boardwalk? Wow. And it's almost like that over here, Kat.
The further down, it's even worse.
Not a way to end the summer beach season, says this woman.
It's depressing because it's like kind of the end of the summer and you want to enjoy a beach day. You can't.
This isn't the week to do it. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on Jones Beach, Long Island.
Idalia has blown through, but the cleanup continues in parts of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. The storm left as many as 500,000 customers without power in Florida alone, plus flooding and other damage all across the area. Now the White House is reaching out to offer more assistance.
The White House says President Biden spoke with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis Thursday morning to tell him he signed a major disaster declaration for the state and ordered all available federal resources to help with the continued response to Tropical Storm Idalia. According to a readout of their call, the president reiterated that the people of Florida have his full support as they recover from the storm. Mr. Biden has spoken to DeSantis several times this week about storm preparations and recovery efforts. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell is in Florida today and joining the governor to assess the damage and determine what the federal government can do to assist. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Idalia, which has been downgraded to a tropical storm, is expected to reach North Carolina today before heading off into the Atlantic. Well, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has had many tag team partners over the years, and his latest is Oprah Winfrey. But the two aren't planning to challenge for the WWE title. Instead, they've teamed up to create the People's Fund of Maui, a relief initiative aimed at helping the victims of the wildfires in Hawaii. Oprah and The Rock are getting the fund started with a combined $10 million donation of their own, and say every dollar contributed will go directly to the people. You can find out more at peoplesfundofmaui.org. Adam Driver spoke at the Venice Film Festival today in support of his new movie, Ferrari.
If you get into one of my cars, you get in the win.
And while Driver said he was happy to be at the festival with the movie, he also called out Amazon and Netflix for adopting policies and making decisions which have led to the actors' strike.
Why is it that a distribution company, a smaller distribution company, like Neon and STX International, can meet the dream demands of what SAG is asking for? This is pre-negotiation, the dream version of SAG's wish list, but a big company like Netflix and Amazon can't.
Ferrari director Michael Mann said the movie got made because he, Driver, and others worked for less money, and it was a smaller company, adding, no big studio wrote us a check, and that's why we're here. Wins News Time, 1:09.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help armed men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now you've probably heard of ABC Now, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere. ABC Now is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much. Right now we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Attorney advertising. When you've been injured, insurance companies are quick to call you after an accident so that they can lowball you for your injuries.
Alexander Gritz is the principal attorney at the Gritz Law Group.
It upsets me to see someone come to my office and they're in vain. And it angers me to see how often insurance companies give unfair offers.
Compassionate in understanding your situation. Aggressive in fighting for you after an accident to put you in the best possible position. The Gritz Law Group is the personal injury law firm that takes your situation personally.
The clients have come to me and shown me lowball offers from insurance companies. I take this personally. You deserve the maximum compensation for your injuries.
If you've been injured on the job, in the car, or along the street, trust Alexander Gritz and the Gritz Law Group to fight fiercely on your behalf. See why injured New Yorkers visit GritzLaw.com. That's GritzLaw.com. The Gritz Law Group, where you come first. With News Time, 1:11. Time for traffic and transit on the ones, and over to Greg Wright.
Now, getting into the city across the Hudson, there are already two wrong choices. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The one you go for is the Holland. It's pretty good either approach. Here's why. In that Lincoln Tunnel, eastbound 495 viaduct right before the Helix. A couple of left lanes are out with police work, and you're going to sit for at least 30 to 40 minutes where the traffic trying to get to the inbound Helix and the inbound Lincoln. Outbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel, no more than a few minutes just yet. The outbound Holland Tunnel, that's also about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Inbound side of the George, we are looking at a 45 to 60 minute ride. On the upper inbound lower is at least 45, and that's all traffic. There's no construction at the inbound George. Outbound lower level, we're dealing with a breakdown knocking out the right lane, so the outbound upper deck is where you go. Getting there, northbound west side and southbound Deegan, Better Rock, getting to the Memorial Cuomo, Rockland down, you got to deal with a mess. Southbound Thruway, a standstill from Suffolk all the way down to exit 10, where an accident has left you single file. Traffic is sponsored by Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods. So this week at Stu Leonard's Farm Fresh Foods, direct from the Midwest, their mighty porterhouse steak is $9.99 a pound when you use the Stu Leonard's app. That's a total savings of $6 a pound. Plus, wild-caught cold water lobster tails, 4 ounce average, only $5.99 each. Save $4. I'm Greg Wright, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Let's get a check of our 1010 Winds AccuWeather forecast. Here's Tom Karen.
Well, we'll have some pretty nice weather here over the next few days. The exception is going to be the surf getting kicked up with the storms out in the Atlantic. We're going to have rough surf with currents. Some minor coastal flooding in the next couple of days with those storms out there. But overall,
Pretty nice. We're going to have sunshine breeze this afternoon in the upper 70s, mostly clear tonight. Down to 60, sunny, nice for tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow up to 78, Saturday we're around 80. Sunshine for Sunday up to 86, and Labor Day hotter. We're up near 90. Right now in Central Park, 74. There's some sunshine. We're up to 78 in Midtown. Back to the host John Fear from New York's weather station, 1010 Wind, 192.3 FM.
When news time, 113.
I guess summer isn't endless after all. But at Ramsey's Racer Jeep Dodge Ram, it seems like endless savings on all Jeeps during the Make This the Summer event. You must be talking about the incredible lease or rent on a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, 4x4. Lease for only $499 per month for 24 months and only $49.39 total due at signing. Plus tax, title, and registration, of course. Or check out Ramsey's great deal on a new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4xe with a lease offering of just $549 per month for 36 months, $49.89 total due at signing. Plus tax, title, and registration. Don't miss the summer fun behind the wheel of your new Jeep from Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
Correspondent Tom Cody, analysts say with so many working remotely,
say they found significant violations inside facilities during inspections dating back to late last year, including finished formula products that tested positive for Chronobacter. For Reckitt Mead Johnson, investigators described multiple water leaks and standing piles of spilled infant product formula. Wet conditions and cracks are favorable for the growth of Chronobacter. And in the letter to Perrigo, the FDA said Chronobacter was found in finished formula. Chronobacter was also allegedly found in Byhardt's finished formula.
That's correspondent Lionel Moise. So far, the FDA says no recalls have been issued and that there's no risk to consumers. Still, you can't blame parents for being concerned in the wake of the formula shortage last year, caused in part by contamination at a plant in Michigan. The relentless pursuit of the stories that matter to you. 1010 Wins, now on 92.3 FM.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. 74 degrees and sunny in Manhattan at 120. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. Mayor Adams held a rally this morning to call for the federal government to speed up work authorizations for asylum seekers. We'll get a briefing this afternoon from the NYPD on their security plans for this year's Juve and the West Indian Day Parade. A woman was killed and 2 other people were injured after being hit by a minivan in Comac this morning. North Korea fired 2 ballistic missiles last night to simulate nuclear strikes on South Korea. And Jimmy Kimmel says he was intent on retiring. That is, right before the writers' strike. 1010 Winds AccuWeather. Sunny, breezy today. Just a really beautiful afternoon. Low humidity. High 78 degrees. We do have that risk, though, still of rip currents at the area beaches. So do be careful if you're headed to the beaches. With news time 121, traffic and transit on the ones, and here's Greg Wright.
Well, throughout Brooklyn, the entire inbound Gowanus and eastbound BQE is one big mess. From the Belt Merge all the way up to the Kosciuszko Bridge, you just don't move. There is construction in the left lane, and there's also reportedly an accident on the eastbound BQE at the Kosciuszko Bridge. That's why this is so much worse than usual. Westbound BQE slows across the Kosciuszko Bridge, again from the Guinness Boulevard all the way on down to the Brooklyn Bridge. Elsewhere in Brooklyn, westbound Delta Phase, we've got the left lane out to Revere and a crawl all the way back towards the area of Ocean Avenue. Eastbound Belt towards the Bay Parkway, again from Flatbush Avenue out towards Cross Bay Boulevard. Out of Rockland into Westchester, it's a 12-mile backup and building on the southbound freeway right out of Suffern all the way on down to Memorial Bridge. Has left you single file. City bound lower and northwest. Outbound side of the Lincoln Tunnel. We are still looking at about 10 minutes. Outbound Hollins, 10. Outbound Skyway got better. Inbound Skyway, still an extra few minutes. Traffic is sponsored by Cars.com. Whether you're looking for the perfect summer road trip car or something you can zip around in, visit Cars.com today. They have over 2 million cars for your 2 million summer possibilities. Head to Cars.com and check out the possibilities. Cars.com. Where to next? I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Mayor Adams holding a rally this morning. The federal government is asylum seekers.
Pushing back. Always too young idiots. Don't see when your parents came here and now people are staying to them.
To meet with the government can better support the state. The senator said her Mexico is in conversations with getting work authorizations. Breaking news for the suspects in a mugging last month near the Highland in Chelsea. Robinson was arguing on 10th Avenue with two men who began kicking and punching him before making off with his cell phone and some cash. You can see photos of these suspects at 1010wins.com. If you know who they are or where they might be, you have to call Crime Stoppers at 577-TIPS. A woman was killed in a car crash this morning on Long Island.
Sadly, the 22-year-old was medevac to the hospital but was pronounced dead. She was doing a morning workout, I'm told, with two males ages 14 and 20 when she was hit by a minivan. The driver did remain at the scene. The two other victims suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The crash happened here on Harn Road near Donna Court in Comac. The roadway blocked off traffic with numerous police officers and detectives at the scene. Sophia 10 Wins on 92.3 FM in Comac, Long Island.
New at Wins News Time, 1:26. Time for Bloomberg Money Watch now on 1010 Wins.
And here's Ann Case. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge has posted the smallest back-to-back increase since late 2020, up 0.2% in July. Consumer spending jumped more than 0.5% last month, adding to growing expectations that the economy could avert a recession and make a soft landing. Still, pandemic-era savings are dwindling, the labor market is cooling, and student loan payments resume this fall, and all may take a toll on household finances. Fewer Americans are signing up for unemployment benefits. First-time jobless claims fell by 4,000 last week to 228,000. Unemployment applications rose early this year as companies and banks financing real estate handed out pay slips. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Ann Cates for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Now this message, Mets fans, before every game, tune in for the Nissan Mets pregame show on WCBS 880.
Is your car still under warranty? No, not anymore. My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care. Ox Car Care? Yeah. If anything happens to the car, new brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance. Wait, you need nothing on repairs, opposite day, free oil changes, free and free road. Yeah, you don't pay. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies. The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-270-8132. Ask about senior and military discounts. Ox covers commercial car owners too. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-270-8132. 800-270-8132.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. Special reduce the amount you qualify. Bankruptcy, debt consolidation, which the credit card companies love to keep secret, it's used to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming by offering real relief is established as call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the hotline now. Call 800-266-7171. 800-266-7171.
The school is off, and Staples has great prices on everything you need for your best year yet. Save on headphones and laptops. Save on notebooks, pens, and all the essentials. Price low and still in stock. And right now at Staples, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are only 50 cents each. Plus, select notebooks are just 35 cents each. Cool on, save on at Staples. With your savings are always in session. Ends 9/16, enter only limit 30.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more straight talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contact. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, Ned. You're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
It's 74 degrees and sunny in Manhattan. Have a good afternoon. I'm Linda Lopez. Winds News Time, 1:30.
Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Rincon. Former President Trump pled not guilty today in the case accusing him of trying to overturn the election results in Georgia.
The not guilty plea comes at the end of a 2-page filing in which Donald Trump waives his arraignment. It means the former president will not have to appear in court in Atlanta on Wednesday. The timing of the trial in Georgia remains unclear. DA Bonnie Willis hopes to have all 19 co-defendants standing before the same jury. But lawyers for some of those charged have thrown stones at that plan, filing competing motions to have the case accelerated or held off or taken out of the Fulton County Courthouse and moved into federal court.
That's correspondent Stephen Portnoy. The decision might save him multiple other cases, though, to focus on. Trump defended himself in New York against Attorney General Tish James back in April. That testimony was made public by his lawyers yesterday. Tish James suing him, claiming evidence shows he fraudulently inflated his own net worth by more than $2 billion. That case will be heard in court in mid-September. A judge could resolve part or all of that lawsuit before it goes to trial. The trial is scheduled for October. Winds News Time, 1:31. We check traffic and transit on the ones with Greg Wright.
We got a lot going on the B2E in Brooklyn. Eastbound Brooklyn-Queens Expressway at the Kosciuszko Bridge. You got the left lane out, you cross the construction. You got a couple of right lanes out. You cross of an accident, so it's all in the same area on the eastbound B2E near the Kosciuszko Bridge, and it's all one mess back to Brooklyn and the inbound Gowanus to the Belt Parkway merge. Westbound side of the Belt Parkway in Brooklyn over to Verrazano. We're still dealing with left lane repair work and an absolute crawl that goes with it all the way on back towards Knapp Street. Eastbound Belt bunched up over to Cross Bay Boulevard. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. A lot. Inbound side of the George 60 up 45 on the inbound lower level of the George. There is nothing easy getting you out of town. Northbound west side, southbound being invested the bad bunch. Eastbound cross bronx. Ward of some trouble getting out towards Grand Concourse past Jerome Avenue. Lincoln tunnel's about 10 to 15 in. Outbound Lincoln no more than 10. Holland tunnel, it's about a 10-minute ride in either direction. And if you're in a jam, call the Barnes Firm traffic tip line at 844-JAM-1010. That's 844-JAM-1010. Traffic sponsored by the Barnes Firm. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
I'm Attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible. Manhattan, Long Night.
The 1010 Winds AccuWeather forecast, a nice one. Here's meteorologist John Furyk.
Yeah, pretty nice over the next few days. We head into the holiday weekend. Sunshine, a breeze this afternoon. We'll top out the upper 70s, low humidity. There is rough surf with currents at the beaches. Also, some minor coastal flooding during times of high tide. So that's something to keep in mind. And that's probably going to be the case over the next few days. And mostly clear tonight. We're down to 60. Nice with sunshine. Tomorrow we're up to 78. Saturday up near 80. Warmer Sunday with sun up to 86. And then more humid for Labor Day. Partly sunny. We'll top out around 90. Right now in Central Park, 74. Mostly sunny. Going up to 78 in Midtown. AccuWeather meteorologist John Furyk on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Winds News Time, 1:33. Another recall from Trader Joe's. This time, the chain warning customers about their black-bean tamales.
Trader Joe's has issued its 6th recall since July. This one involves gourmet black bean tamales from the Texas Tamale Company. Trader says they may be filled with white cheese and green hatch chilies instead of beans. That could pose a life-threatening reaction for anyone with an allergy or heightened sensitivity to milk. No illness is reported, and the tamales have been removed from stores. Trader Joe's has also issued warnings this summer about products that may have been contaminated with rocks, insects, and metal.
That's correspondent Deborah Rodriguez. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell froze up during a press conference for the second time this summer. There are concerns surrounding his health. The 81-year-old says he felt lightheaded on Wednesday, causing the most recent incident in Kentucky. He stopped while addressing a question from a reporter. who asked if he was running for re-election. Aides say he'll be consulting a physician. After the episode, McConnell did get on the phone to call GOP senators to say he felt fine. Says he'll see his role through, but has not said if he plans to run again in 2025. A fire ripped through a 5-story building in South Africa. It happened overnight. 73 people have died. At least 7 of the victims were kids. Emergency crews in Johannesburg say they expect to find more victims as they continue to clear out the building.
Fire teams on the scene in Johannesburg, where fire ripped through a 5-story building that was used by homeless people. Emergency Services spokesman Robert Molodzi.
We'll be moving floor by floor to make sure that we clear all the floors, and then from there, as soon as that we are done, we hand over the scene to South African Police Service to continue their work.
Some in the building reportedly threw themselves out of windows to escape the blaze. At least 7 of the victims were children, the youngest around a year old. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Soon, New York will have the highest cigarette tax anywhere in the country, an effort to stop kids from smoking. Starting tomorrow, an extra $1 will be added to the tax. It'll be up to $5.35. It marks the first tax increase since 2010. It's expected to cut smoking down by 4%. The State Health Department reports 1 in 5 high school kids have used a tobacco product, but will be deterred from the habit after the increase. The American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network projects the higher tax will save the lives of over 15,000 New Yorkers. Wins News Time, 1:36. 1010 Wins Entertainment News coming up.
Cars for Kids, the easiest and fastest way to donate your car. Donate today, and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org or call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Elevate your driving experience in a new 2023 Infiniti QX60 SUV from Ray Capina Infiniti of Bridgewater. Find customized finance and flexible lease options just right for you. Schedule a test drive today at Ray Capina Infiniti of Bridgewater.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but has 95%
Traffic and transit on the one with Greg Rice.
Well, we go back to Brooklyn and back up we are on the westbound belt now from Nashville over to the Verrazano, where left lane repair work awaits. Staying in Brooklyn and staying absolutely slow. Inbound Milwaukee, eastbound B2, awful. Bellsburg all the way up to the Kosciuszko Bridge. That is where you've got a crash blocking 2 lanes and construction blocking another. East side of Manhattan on the northbound FDR near East 96th Street. You've got a broken down SUV back as the right lane knocked out along the way. Northbound FDR in the 70s. CR stalls in the right lane near 79th and 96. The northbound west side, you missed the fun to see, but it's a much better ride. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Out of town, the west side is slow from the 150s, and the northbound and southbound Deegan are also starting to jam up. There's no easy way out. Citybound George 60 up, 45 down. Lincoln's about 15 to 20 in, no more than 10 out. Outbound Holland, no more than 10. Inbound Holland looks to be a few minutes, but really not awful yet. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Winds news time 1:42 ahead of Labor Day. A big push to get migrants employed. Air Adam is part of a rally today at Foley Square, meant to put pressure on the White House to expedite work authorization for asylum seekers living here.
American labor not only built a movement, they built this city. And
Governor Hochul was in Washington bringing that very same message to the Biden administration. She talked to officials about work authorization, education, housing. The White House says it's working to provide more funding for housing along the temporary site. Asylum seekers, nothing yet on expedited work authorization. When from the city's medical examiner, the case now being considered a homicide. Police are still looking into this. They have not made any arrests so far. In Midtown, a man was stabbed and robbed last Thursday. That suspect still on the loose. Police say a 51-year-old was walking down 43rd Street when a man came up and stabbed him in the stomach, stole his wallet, and ran off. The man was taken to the hospital, survived the attack. Anyone with information urged to call Crime Stoppers. The rain hit the city. The deadly waves, the first wave, they hit much earlier than originally reported. A new report shows the first pandemic-related death happened in January of 2020, not March.
Data from the University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, the Empire Center found New York had already gotten to the peak of its first COVID wave in mid-March of 2020, well before lockdown began.
The virus was spreading in New York for almost a month before the state detected it with its first positive test.
Said the center's senior fellow for health policy, Bill Hammett.
But I think we've done almost nothing to improve our preparedness. And it's kind of shocking.
Officials have begun screening sewage for viruses in the general population, but Hammond said an after-action review is needed to figure out where things went so wrong. Marla Dinan, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
We have reached out to the state health department for a comment. No response just yet. If you are heading elsewhere this upcoming holiday weekend, you won't be alone. Busy roads and busy airports on the agenda. The FAA predicting this will be the third busiest weekend of the year.